Hi everyone, so I'm here on the South Bank in London, here to take part in a new form of activism known as the Truth Walk. Now, this form of activism was started in Sydney fairly recently, and now it's come over to London now. So I'm the organiser here, Sienna. So Sienna, if I could just ask you a couple of questions. First of all, if you could just explain like how this event works, like the structure of it, and also like the kind of success you're able to achieve with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the reasons that it's so effective is it's kind of different to any other activism that we have right now. So it's midway between sort of a cube of truth where you've obviously got a TV screen showing footage and outreaches, but we also have the potential to stage little mini DXE disruptions if we want, go stand outside of McDonald's or Burger King, whatever we feel like. So basically we just have one portable TV and a battery pack, and then a team of outreaches. The aim is to have conversations with people similar to the Cube of Truth, but really we can do whatever we want. If we want to go into a restaurant and pass that information, we can do that as well. We've definitely found it to be really effective in terms of you only need a few people to show up, and it doesn't require a lot of organising or
that's fantastic, and I suppose that's one of the main. Sorry, no, you're not in the background. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm sure. But I suppose that's one of the main advantages that it has over the Cube, doesn't it? The fact that you can easily do it with just a few people. And this is the setup we've got here, just the TV, and I'm assuming that's a little battery pack in there. It's fairly so a fairly simple setup.
Yeah, pretty light battery pack, so it enables us to just walk around wearing the TV and not have to lug a whole bunch of gear around in a suitcase.
So so I'm excited to get going. Thanks for that. I'll probably film a few more updates as the event gets going, just to show you all what this event's all about. So we've just set off. We've got our own like cards here with all the information on, similar to the AV closing cards. We're heading down to, was it McDonald's down here? Yeah, I mean, which is technically private land, but we'll just, you know, stay there as long as we can until we get told to move. The TV here showing Land of Hope and Glory, full volume as well, which is always helpful to draw a lot of interest as expected. So we're still outside McDonald's. We've been here for maybe, I don't know, approaching 10 minutes now, I guess. We've got a few outreaches here. We've got Tim, Barry, Sienna and myself. Sienna's just having a conversation with a couple over there now. Obviously you can't hear what's going on, but the fact they've even been talking for a while kind of, you know, fills me with hope. So we've now moved the TV to a bit more of a crowded area where, you know, everyone's kind of gathering round. Sienna's conversation here is still going on, which is always a good sign, isn't it? And again, you can't really see it on the camera, but when you're actually here, you can see it completely fine. It's actually drawing a lot of attention. I'm just going to have another conversation here. Oh, he's walked off. Never mind. But yeah, something like this is always going to, you know, draw attention. People want to know what it's all about, and then by the time they actually see it, it's too late because they've already seen. I definitely like how flexible this demo is. We can kind of adapt to the situation as you're moving along. So, you know, move to a more, like, to a busier area if necessary. And it's just a really good approach, in my opinion.
Do you guys think that you'd be able to kill an animal yourself? Sorry? Do you think that you would be able to kill an animal yourself? Would you be able to? You yourself?
Yeah.
Could you do this to an animal? No. You wouldn't want to, right? So do you think there's a difference in killing an animal yourself and in paying someone else to kill that animal for you? That's okay. Yeah, can I explain to you again?
We've decided to move back to where we usually do our cubes here on the South Bank because it was, not many people were stopping where we were, so we've decided to adapt and change again. I'm already thinking about the possibility of doing this in parts of Havering, which is my home borough, if you weren't aware.
However, this is untrue.
Watching the crowds here again.
There are several different mutilations carried out to cows. The males are castrated using electroration.
What we're doing is we're showing footage from inside UK farms and slaughterhouses.
This method was simply used to
Do you know what you're watching? Yeah, it's very nice, isn't it? So this is all industry standard. This is what they do to baby lambs. They're castrated, they have their tails docked, and they have their teeth protected all about.
We're now by the foods court. I don't know how long we're going to be able to stay here for until we get kicked out, but for now, got the Griffith showing. So it's getting a bit dark out here now. We'll probably run this for another, I don't know, just over an hour or so. But I've had some good conversations today, and I think we all have. I just had a bit of a bizarre conversation actually with a woman who said she was vegetarian and the only things that were holding her back were honey and wool. I don't know what that's all about, but I told her about Challenge 22. I explained a bit about the honey industry and what that's doing to the animals, to the bees, and how important they are to this planet's survival, which is kind of common knowledge these days, isn't it? So yeah, I definitely think she's one to add to the success list. Foot traffic's quite low here, but we'll probably move on in a bit just to see how this probably hang around here for a bit longer and just see how it goes, and then maybe walk on. A minute ago we were at the food court just over there and had some good conversations with the people sitting down, but eventually we got a bit of grief from the people who actually own some of the restaurants, and it's a real shame actually, because one of them was a hot dog place that did a couple of vegan options, and I was seriously considering buying one until the owner was a bit funny with us. It's a real shame, but here for the animals. I can sacrifice a vegan hot dog if it's going to get the message out. Now this may well be our final location here on the South Bank, right next to the London Eye. Foot traffic's pretty slow wherever we are now. We're just here to pick out whatever few conversations we can get in, like Sienna's doing here. Something like this is still going to draw interest from people, so just see if we can get any more conversions in before the end of the evening. So we've just finished the South Bank Truth Walk, and like I said earlier, I'm really impressed with how this new form of activism works. Really effective, definitely an approach to utilise whenever possible. Biggest advantages it has over something like a cube, in my opinion, is that it can be done anywhere. We don't need a big space like we do for a cube to be able to run it, and also it can be done easily with 2-3 people. So yeah, that's definitely an advantage. It definitely has its place. It has its disadvantages too. Having just one screen obviously isn't going to hit as many people as a cube with many devices, but it's just a case of utilising as many different approaches as we possibly can. That's the way we're going to achieve liberation. So I definitely recommend setting up something like this in your area if you think it'd be suitable. And see you all soon.